Hey, David.
Hey,
So,
Rico.
hey, so good to have you here. I'm pumped. I've been obviously, we've known each other for a couple of years now, right? Um, been on your podcast before. Now you're jumping on ours for the first time. Let's go. A lot of people know what you do in terms of business and stuff like that. But we'd love to get just a quick snapshot origin of who's Dave Mouse, and then we're gonna jump into the good juicy stuff that everyone wants to know about. The real life story of Dave. But yeah, for you, man, real quick, where you're from, how you got here today, what you're into, the quick origin, and then we go from there.
Okay, awesome.
Let's run in.
Got it. Thanks for having me, Rico.
Good.
Awesome to be here. It's a bit uncomfortable being on the other side of the hosting guest here, but hey, we're here. We're doing it.
Come on now.
So I'm, originally from the West Coast, from Greymouth. I was born and went to high school in Christchurch. Then spent a bit of time living in Canada. I was there for about 7 years, British Columbia.
Wow.
And came back in 2015, I believe it was. With my daughter, who's currently 13. And I guess I've always been entrepreneurial. I've had stints of employed life. It's just not my sweet spot. I think I'm better just being a business owner.
That's understandable.
And so here we are today, and we have known each other, I guess, through the small village that Christchurch is, but jumped into the NeuroFit program earlier this year, 2025. And there was nothing particularly that triggered that. I think I'm just naturally a really curious person.
Yes.
I'm always looking to sharpen the metaphorical sword. And
nice.
so I think I'd seen a bit about your branding. I think just in conversation we talked a little bit about it. But, for me, if I can become a little bit better and learn in a way that suits me, then I'm all about it. So
cool,
here we are.
man. Here we are. And so wait, so Canada for 7 years. What were you doing there?
Yeah, so I was in Canada. Previous relationship. We met here in Christchurch, but she was from Canada originally.
Gotcha.
So
moved over for the relationship.
Ended up moving over there together, and then came back separately, but with our daughter. So that was all good. That was definitely
awesome. What's your daughter's name?
Life event.
How good. I didn't know that about you.
Now you do.
I didn't know. Like, there's so much I don't know about you, Dave.
There is, man. It was a huge part of life. I became a Canadian citizen.
Wow.
And, definitely feel more at home over there, if I'm honest.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just do.
That's crazy. Okay. So this is a whole new area that I've just discovered about you. So I'm really intrigued, right? So you went over for a relationship, understandable, makes sense, right? And so when you say I became a Canadian citizen, that says, I'm going to spend the rest of my life here.
For sure.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Things get rocky in the relationship. Did you move back straight after like a separation, or was it like
pretty much? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was the goal, or that was not the goal, but that was what happened. That was the goal. It was the anti-goal, but
Yeah. Okay.
I guess just on a tangent, like I'm actually a fan of breakups. Like I'm a fan of people that for whatever reason don't work together, and can then go on individually and
Well, sometimes it can get quite messy, right?
They can do, especially with kids involved, right?
We hear stories.
We
hear stories.
You've heard the rumor.
And so from what it sounds like right now, it didn't end that way. Like it's not super messy.
Oh no, it was pretty messy.
It was pretty messy.
It was, like on a 0 to 10 messy scale, like it was up there.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't double digits.
It's up there.
It was up there.
Okay. And so then you move here. What do you? So here, like, I mean, I'm just going into like the emotional journey, right? Post the breakup is not the funnest one.
No, definitely not. No.
And so, if you don't mind, we can go there today.
For sure.
Let's go. How did that? I mean, you coming back is like a cool. I'm getting out of here. Start again. I think. What's that like? Like, that's your 7 years at that time of life is like that's your life, right? Like,
yeah, it was really challenging actually. Like I personally didn't want to come back.
Yeah,
I found that Canada was home, and that I'd built a number of great connections, and I loved the lifestyle of living over there. And so to come back here, and it was still pretty fresh earthquake wise. Like there's still like
Yeah.
the rebuild was in full force, and
Yep.
it just honestly wasn't like the most positive environment to land back into. And then coupled by the
I
fact
just
that it
remember
was
2015. Yeah, this
and it was
is
like
yeah.
May as well, and so it was just starting to get cold, and I was just
Oh
like, what
man.
is going on here? This isn't ideal.
Yeah, wow.
But I mean, I think in life you get these hard moments and challenges that come your way, and I think when
Mm,
you can look back on them and have a laugh, but at the time I definitely wasn't laughing.
it
I
wasn't a
remember
laugh.
that. It was definitely a
Yeah,
low point,
a low point. So at that time, what is everyone's low point looks different, right?
for sure.
What was the low point for you in like mentally, internally? Like, did you have many friends here when you came back? Like, what was that like?
No, not really. No, it was very much a fresh start. Like I'd had a few, older friends, but I hadn't really kept in touch with a lot of people.
Yeah,
I'd
wow.
sort of really disconnected or, yeah, uncoupled from New Zealand life. And so it was almost like starting over again.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, don't know how to best describe it, but it was a real struggle though. Like it
Mm.
was a real mental struggle, like coming from a environment where everything was sorted, right? Like the relationship wasn't, but everything else in
Yes.
life was good, like
Okay.
fitness was pretty good, friends was pretty good, business was pretty good, travel, like a lot of things were good, right? And so to transplant back here in
Mm.
winter, not
Mm.
knowing that many people and just having to start
Yep.
again, I guess I just didn't see the positive at that moment.
Yeah, got you. And did you move back with your daughter?
Yes. Yep.
Got yeah. So moving back, single dad life.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Single dad of a 3-year-old. And
whew.
yeah.
Let's talk. We'll talk. Let's let's just talk about that for a second, right? Like one, uh, yeah, I got two kids, right? One of them is just turned 3, full on,
It's really full
like
on. Yeah, it's really hard.
full on. So and I'm like the so many people talk about the single mom life, right? And one, it's I have a lot of respect now being a parent of two. I have a lot of respect for anyone that's doing that solo. It is crazy. For you, was your like coming back into a harsh time of life, was parenting and trying to discover yourself again? Did the parenting side, was that an anchor for you, or was that like as in like it kept you grounded a bit more, or was it like no, this is making it harder?
Definitely harder. I
Yeah.
mean, my daughter's mother was in the picture, and so it was a collaborative effort, right? It was
Yes.
it was shared custody, and so it wasn't all on me. And shout out to her, like that was helpful. It wasn't great,
Mm,
like the dynamic between us, but at least we were able to work together somewhat. I guess I saw it as a challenge at the time.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it as like a positive anchor. It wasn't a negative,
Yeah.
but it was also a big challenge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are one that uh loves to take learnings from adversity, right? And year in that's a big season of adversity for you. Um, what's the biggest learning from that time for you?
I mean, if I'm like really, really honest about things, I'd just say that when you get into a relationship that's not feeling right and it's not working for either party, and I guess it's hard to distinguish what
Yep.
is like normal difficulty and what's like adverse difficulty. But
Mm,
it's just that whole thing of like trusting your gut when something
yep.
feels off.
Did you get that way before?
Way, way, way before,
Uh,
years
uh
before,
Years before.
years before.
Oh, that's tough.
It is a little tough.
That is
Yeah.
tough.
I mean, there's, in retrospect, there's not much to do now other than learn from it. But
Yep. Yep.
it's something that I'm pretty passionate about, though. As I say, like it's sort of against the grain in a lot of ways to encourage breakups. But I just feel that if you can just be honest with yourself and trust your gut feeling
Yep. Early on,
early on, yeah,
because it's less messy, right?
yeah.
Less commitment.
I think when you're justifying anything, it's often a bad sign, right? Whether it's
Mm.
work or
Whoa.
a
So
relationship.
that's a good point. When you're justifying anything, it's a bad sign.
I think so.
Talk to me about that. Where does
I mean,
that?
if you take a slightly lighter topic, right? Like if you're like, this coffee, like, it's pretty good, but, like, if there's a but at the end of that
Yeah.
sentence, I think it usually indicates something's not quite right.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
You can move past a bad coffee, but, if you
Yeah.
say, like, the cup's cool and, like, the flavor's not bad, but
Mm,
it's kinda bitter.
mm.
The bitter's what you really wanna get to, right? But I think a lot of us being people
Oh,
pleasers and just wanting
yeah.
to blend in or not rock the boat, I think it's natural to either disregard those negative gut feelings,
Yes, just to keep the peace.
keep the peace.
Yeah. And so you feel like that's what in that because I feel like relationships is probably a really hot topic, right? And one that not many people hear from your mouth, but it's your experience, and no one can take that away. From that time, 7 years, were you dating before you moved to Canada? So it's like a bit more than seven
A
years.
small amount of
Small,
time, yeah.
yeah. So it's around 7 to 8, right? 7 to 8. It's a long relationship.
It is.
And you said years before, I should have been listening to my gut. So there was that like I'm justifying things for a while now. If a person's in that space, right? Because I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to upset anyone. So I'm just kind of, making do. What would you say?
Just have a really hard, difficult, upfront, honest conversation with each other
Mm,
and try to define or determine if you're heading in the same direction,
yeah.
if you're able to, navigate life in a way that's somewhat symbiotic. But I think if you're, diverging, if your paths are
Mm,
going in opposite ways or for whatever reason you're not
yeah.
like mingling well, like
Yeah.
I don't know, just
Do you feel like that's a big part in a relationship is having a vision together, like knowing that you are going in the same direction? Because I feel like in relationships, people don't talk about where they want to go together.
yeah, I'm not sure actually. Like I love future planning and I love goal setting and I love that. But
Yeah.
actually, Emily, my current fiance, she's not a fan. So,
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know. I would have liked to have said absolutely, and it's critical. It's critical that your vision aligns,
And
right? But
Emily's watching right now. She's like, hmm.
what the heck?
What's going on?
So maybe it's not critical.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think,
I think it's a someone asked me the other day, like, how do you set a vision with your partner or your spouse, right? I was like, one valid question. But he was a avid business owner. And business owners that set visions is like, you know, don't deviate from the path. We have micro goals on the way, the whole plan set up, like it's full on. And so naturally, he was taking that frame of work into at home. And unfortunately, at home doesn't really operate like the business does because it's relationships versus targets, right? And so we talked about it, and I was like, oh, what really works for my wife and I, because she's the same. Like, I don't want to, like, you know, we must get here, and if we don't, like, we're gonna fall behind. And like the measurement of things, like she's like,
no
not,
KPIs.
yeah, no KPIs, not really keen on that. Just want to enjoy life with you.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, cool. And now I realize, oh well, as a husband, I'm like, oh cool. I want to know where I'm going, and are you willing to follow me into wherever we're going, the adventure of fun life, right? And is that part of like, well, will you support? I think with us now, we had probably 2 years ago, we found ourselves in a real like end of the year frustration of Christmas. But like we we didn't have the freedom we wanted. We felt a bit bogged down with how the year kind of ended, and the classic when you're in the frustration of life, you look for the easiest escape. And so we were like, oh, we're going to plan great holidays next year. We're going to go to this place. And they were like, yeah, it's going to be fun. We all know the escapism part doesn't really work with that well, but that was the like, oh, give us a bit of hope, right? And so then we sat down just after New Year's and we're like, hey, in 5 years' time, what would you like our lifestyle to look like? And I think in a relationship, the vision part is how does our life look, right? And so she shared a few things around like I want a family home, and I want to be able to like host and build greater friendships with my kids. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, I want my M2 in the garage. I'm like, I want to be working on a car with Romeo. I was like all these things. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We want that. That's awesome. We want holidays, great, but that means we're gonna have to change some stuff up now, and having the unity of like, yeah, we both agree that we would love to be like that. Okay. Guess holidays are not really the part of the journey right now. And we could both like get an agreement with it. I think that's the part of like it's a bit different to the business part, but I think the agreement of where you are going together is key when it comes down to it. Or sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, cool, I agree with I'm happy to go on the journey with you there. And I think that has a massive part to play. Anyway, talked a bit there. Um, so I'm passionate about it, man. The relationship piece, and so then we continue. So you come here, yeah, back in Christchurch, back into the winter, single dad life. What did split custody look like? Did she come? Because she's still in Canada.
No, no, we're both
Oh,
back
so you
back
both
together.
okay?
Yep.
Cool. In my head, I was like, wait,
No, no,
she's
no.
still in Canada. You moved here.
We came back.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool, cool, cool. That makes a lot more
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Because I
So,
was like, man, you checking your child on a flight?
I
How's
mean,
that?
it was
That's
messy, but it
great.
wasn't that messy.
That's crazy.
So
Gotcha.
we navigated it for I mean, I guess we're coming on 10 years now,
Yeah, wow.
which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's seen a number of different iterations, practically
Mm,
speaking, and yeah, it's a work in progress.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Oh,
yeah.
I love that. Love that. Okay. And so you said what earlier this year, right? You came to do the Neurofit program. And there was a cohort program. So I don't know much around like because we never sat down and go through some stuff. What did you feel like you discovered about yourself in that process?
I found it super interesting to work backwards through a few limiting beliefs that I have, just where they might have originated from, and just
Yes.
what might have contributed toward those limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
I found that really interesting.
Oh, mate, let's talk about these limiting beliefs
Yeah, I mean,
then.
it's again a work in progress.
Yeah,
I feel that, yeah, I feel like a lot of things in life, it's not like solved. You're good.
100%.
It is
Yeah.
an ongoing thing, right?
Mm. The do you mind sharing one of your limiting beliefs that you discovered about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the one that comes to mind is the fear of rejection.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I still battle with that one. I don't know exactly how to deal with it, but it's something that keeps coming up time and time again. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure the exact origin of it,
Yep.
but it's a recurrent
It's been a thing for a
for a
while.
while. Yeah, 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 totally.
Ah,
Yeah.
mate, let's jump into this
Oh,
one,
let's.
mate.
I just love talking about my emotions.
Well, we all love talking about emotions, right? So the fear of rejection, I can definitely yeah, that was a big thing for me.
You can relate?
I can relate to that one, right?
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it growing being in Christchurch, it makes it work. Like I feel like the culture of it is we have more reason to fear it because people do cut you down when they don't like something that you're doing. So it's like there are natural experiences that happen that gives us reason to believe that.
Is that in comparison to somewhere else in the world, do you mean? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say the tall poppy syndrome, the fear of being not liked here in Christchurch is pretty big. Where you go somewhere else that's not as conservative in its way of living, just a natural thing of like small rejections of walking down the road and not being looked at. You go somewhere else and you walk down the road and people walk past you, smile at you. You're like just on those small micro things in Christchurch, people don't do that.
Hmm.
Like I've been trying to walk to work. We live in town. I've been trying to walk to work in the mornings, and I'm like, oh, I'm a person of joy. I'm going to try and smile at people, and no one looks at me, man. Like,
Really?
yeah. And
No
I'm
smiles
like,
back?
no smiles back, no
The heck?
eyes back. It's like
Really?
it's natural, like walking past,
Interesting.
and I'm like, this place, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
frustrating,
yeah.
But I think the culture of Christchurch is a natural, like, you can easily feel rejected a lot
How long have you lived here?
since I was 11.
Do you feel that there's been a shift over the last X amount of years in terms of the
I feel
conservatism?
like it crisis crisis brings you out of it, but the default is to go back. When earthquakes happen, everyone came out of it and was like, I've got to care for my neighbor.
Mm.
I've got to see them now. They exist, because we've all gone through the same pain. So there's this reason to relate. When the shooting happened here, same thing. Everyone came out their box and was like, "Oh, I see you.
Mm.
You're real." But when crisis is not happening, individualism is, I believe, one of the biggest things here. And if you don't fit in my individual box,
I feel you. I feel you.
it's
Yeah,
massive.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the motivations for leaving,
yeah,
I just felt it was so conservative,
yeah. It is.
so traditional, so like,
Yeah.
just yeah,
You got to be in the right group of people
totally.
to
Well, I
get
mean,
somewhere. And
that's the joke, right? Like, what high school did you go to? Like, I think
classic.
that's fading out slowly, but man,
It's still there.
it's still there.
It's still there, right? Oh yeah. So let's attack it today. So let's go on this, right? So for you, fear of rejection. I love. Let's just talk about how do you reckon that's impacted you first.
Man, like, it is absolutely the biggest like anchor that I've got. It gets
Mm,
in the way a lot.
yeah. Wow.
And I'm, mindfully working on it. But yeah, it's a process.
Yeah.
Even though it's irrational and there's very little logic with it, it's just one of those things that's
Mm,
yeah, and it's good to talk about it, right?
yeah.
Because I think that in itself helps isolate it and diminish its value or
Yeah. Yeah.
power.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The moment you bring up an emotion is the moment it's kind of like you see smoke mirrors, right? It's just kind of like, oh,
For sure.
okay, I could talk about this now. Whereas before, you naturally like convincing yourself that you don't need to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's
crazy how it shows up though, right? Like just in terms of expecting the worst case scenario and,
yes.
just overthinking stuff and
Yeah, yeah.
just, like,
How do you reckon it's impacted business for you?
oh man, I don't know about billionaire.
Is
I
it-
would be a billionaire,
yeah.
but well, maybe I would be.
Hey, you never know.
I'm just saying it definitely gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a specific
for
time?
sure.
Is there a specific moment where you're like, "Oh, the fear of rejection stopped me from doing that?"
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
from a sales perspective and talking to people, prospecting or following up on sales, like
Yeah.
the
The
amount of
follow up piece.
the amount
The
of money
follow up piece.
for
That's
sure.
it. Oh, I can relate to that, man. Because you need a good follow up system. Like if you want your business to be successful, right? But every time someone didn't come back to me, the feeling of rejection, they don't want what I have.
They must hate me.
They must hate me. I'm just not that good for them.
Yeah.
So you don't follow up because you don't actually don't want to hear that. Right. And then I started went to this like good old sales workshop, and they talked about a follow up system and how many times they follow up. And I was like, holy,
Well, yeah.
I didn't know there's a thing. And so I started following up. I went back to it was like halfway through the year. I went back to who I missed from January, followed up, and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, so fully forgot. I need to do this now. And
I'm
I'm
so
like,
keen.
yeah, I'm like
take my money.
wait, what?
That's wild, right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. The follow up system is crazy. Do you mind, and we can definitely edit this out if you don't want, but do you mind if I dig on you a little bit on the fear of rejection?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I love that. I love that. Is that, well, you discover more about yourself, right? But it might be just vulnerability that comes out. But for you, first question, right? Why do you fear rejection?
Good question. It's a really good question. I guess I just don't want my feelings being hurt.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
scared of, I don't know. Yeah, it's a really good question, right? Because when I play it out, like what's the worst thing that could happen to say if you followed up on a sales opportunity and they, like, what are they going to do? Like yell at you and like call your names and like hang up on you, right? Like the worst case scenario is really not that bad.
No.
But yeah,
but it still hurts.
it's still, I don't know. It's still a possibility, I guess.
Yeah. So that sense of I don't want my feelings to get hurt, right? It was essentially I don't want to get hurt. Why does it hurt?
I'm not sure if that's even the right answer though, because I don't feel like that's actually it. I'm not even sure, Rico. This is
Hey,
crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
no, well, let's go there, right? Let's just follow the rabbit hole.
Like, what do you think? Like,
Follow
when
the
you're
rabbit hole.
fearful of following up. Like,
So,
is it like you don't want to be a pest? Like, you don't want to annoy people? Like, for me, that's probably the thing, right?
so I think I've done at least 3 thought detoxes on this specific fear of rejection and losing trust of people. That was
Right.
that for me, the trust part came around,
Right.
and it always led back to then I'm not going to be wanted. I'm going to be alone, and uh, it's going to prove that I'm replaceable. That was for me a big belief that I'm replaceable, and so every time someone didn't want what I had, I'm just I'm not significant,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And which is a lie. But it's what I believe, mainly because growing up, I experienced that, right? And I would always fit in what people said I should do, and so then I'll do it to the best of my ability and succeed. But I'm not allowed to do something that I don't because then I don't have their backing. And so getting people on my side was like my security. But if I felt rejected, I'd feel exposed, and then people are going to discover that I'm actually not that good.
Right.
And that was the bigger belief for me. And so the fear of rejection came as a result of, like, it protected me of, well, you won't be wanted, Rico. You'll be they're going to discover you're stupid. These are all the classic things I do with, right? They're going to discover that you're stupid. They're not going to trust you anymore. And then you realize that you are actually just a dreamer
Mm.
and not an action taker.
Right.
That was me, because growing up, I never took initiative. My brother did, and he succeeded, but I was always afraid of taking initiative outside of what I was good at. And then looking up at, and this is getting real personal right now, but I'm remembering what I wrote down, right? Uh, a memory of a extended family member came up, and he was a bit of a, I would say, dreamer, but nothing ever worked out for him. And I feared ending up like him. The family would talk about him, like, here's another idea.
Right. I see.
And so then I was like, I don't want to be like that.
So you linked it to that.
Yeah, I
Right. I
linked
see.
it to that, and I was like, I don't want to be just a dreamer, because that means all these wishes or wants or aspirations I had for my life will never be true. And so every time I tried something, it must work, kind of thing. And so then, yeah, the fear of rejection was just like another way of stopping that lie of, you're just a dreamer, you won't actually amount to much in this world. Um, that was what I was really afraid of. And so steps forward, don't get rejected, because then, like, rejection leads to this, leads to that, leads to this, and then you'll discover, hey, this is true. Yeah, so it was real interesting. But it's now I'm like, oh, that belief shattered, and I now don't fear rejection. And there's a logical response to it, because it's like, oh well, not everyone needs to be my client. Not like there's that side to it. But I think now it depends who I'm rejected by, and the people closest to me. If I am rejected by them, that one hurts more
Got it. Yeah.
versus the masses. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I
I
feel
mean,
that.
the fear of rejection held me back from doing this podcast
Right.
for a while. Oh,
Interesting.
people gonna say some stuff. Your opinion's gonna get out there. What then? And I'm like, hold on, I'm not meant to be liked by everyone.
Interesting.
Um, there was this analogy that someone gave me, and I was like, oh, this is so gold. But it was like the classic of, uh, your worth. So worth is often linked to in like there's only one of them, right? So it's like the individualistic side of it makes it of more worth. There's no replica. And so if I think of like the Mona Lisa, right? Nothing else like it. It is of so much worth, but it's not of value everywhere. So we pop it on a construction site today.
No value. Yeah.
No one's valuing it,
Mm.
giving it it's. But you put it where it is now, probably in a museum somewhere in Europe, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and they value it for its worth. And then I realize what makes me or what makes you of value is that there is no other.
That's a good way to look at it.
There's just, And because there is no other and it's just you, if we try and be liked by the masses, we have to bring our worth right down
Interesting.
for everyone to be happy.
Accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you operate in your worth and understand that your worth is the fact that I am David, well, not everyone's going to value me, but the ones that will,
They'll pay the price.
they'll pay the price. They'll actually value it. And so I think at that phase now I'm like, oh, well, who am I rejected by? Do I need to be accepted by them? You know,
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I
mm,
think since I've put out more content over the last couple of years and just seeing some of the negativity, not so much toward me personally, but just the
to your guests.
negativity. Yeah, exactly. Like the amount of engagement that's less than positive, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it just makes me think about, that individual and like what's going on for their life that they
100%.
feel the need to comment on
Yeah.
someone's random like social media post, but also just like relating to what you say about being liked or accepted by the masses, like
Mm,
that doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
no. Well, like
No,
how tiring is that?
so tiring.
You know, like
And I mean, it's a bit like the vanilla thing too, right? Like if you want to be an ice cream flavor, like, do you really want to be vanilla? And
such a good,
it's
such a
fine.
good, you
Like,
really want to be vanilla?
like
I mean, you know, like
high grade vanilla, like there's nothing wrong with it.
no, no,
It
no,
is known as the most boring flavor, right?
yeah.
So
That's such a good. I'm gonna start. I'm bringing that into my program. One of the sessions were like, "Do you want to be vanilla or do you want to be yourself?" You know, like that's it. That's such a good. Sorry, continue on that. That's gold.
I wasn't really going anywhere other than just observing
Yeah.
just the market, right? And the people out there
Mm,
and just how you can't appeal to everyone. The
mm,
masses will demonize you or try to
yeah.
take you down or look for negativity essentially, right? Like look
Yeah.
at the media, look at social media. It's not like a great place. There's
No,
not
it's
like an
not.
overwhelming volume of positivity, right?
No, no.
Do you remember over
10%.
lockdown? Do you remember that guy, John Krasinski?
No.
Krasinski, something like that. American dude. You might recognize him, but he started like a talk show, a show basically about
Mm,
like the good news, and just to totally go against the grain, right?
yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
not going to just promote noise. We're just
Yeah.
going to like tell good stories.
100%.
It was such a good show,
Mm.
but
Did
it
it
didn't
last?
last. No, he got cancelled,
Oh,
or
man.
he chose not to pursue it. But
Yeah.
either way, it's
Yeah.
not around anymore.
It's not around anymore.
But it was just interesting in terms of like cutting through the negativity
Yeah.
online, especially.
Well, this thing is, right, if you're going to go against the grain, it's a, it's a long haul to build momentum.
It's a long haul, and I don't know. I mean, you know the Icarus story, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm all about defying tall poppy, but I'm also quite mindful that, you
Mm,
know,
mm.
just be mindful, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's good, man. You said through the program, it was good to link things back to current beliefs that you had. So that belief of like, oh, I fear rejection. Uh, what things came up when you kind of linked it back? Like, were there specific memories? Were there specific times of life
For
that hurt
sure.
more?
Yeah, totally. I mean, in that relationship, there was a lot of things there. There was when I went to boarding school, uh,
Whoa,
when I
I didn't
was
even know you
younger.
went to boarding school, man.
Yeah,
So let's
and
talk about this. Like,
it's actually a really good thing. And like Emily and I talk about it a bit, just how like, going to boarding school at 13 or 12 or like year nine,
yeah,
third form back in the
yeah,
day,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And just how crazy that is. Like, Madison, she's that age, right?
yeah. Would you ever think of
It would feel, yeah, it would seem unlikely.
scary?
Yeah, it would seem like
100% it
a
would.
big jump, right?
Yeah.
And so, did that have some negative impact? Yeah, probably, like probably, right?
I would say
I
100%.
would say absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
funny how you can block out those memories. Like I sort of try to put a positive spin on most things in life, but
Mm,
I look at that high school experience and I just wonder if that was a good or a bad thing, like
yeah.
net.
For boarding school, what was the positive?
I mean, I think being an only child, it was almost like having a larger extended family. It was like having brothers, I guess,
God,
metaphorically,
yeah.
right? So
Gotcha.
that was kind of cool in a way, but I think that first year or two, especially, or
Mm,
especially the first 6, 12 months, like I just remember being that quite traumatic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's jump into that because I get a lot of clients that went to boarding school, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that maybe says a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes that joke. But it has a massive part to play in their journey. And you got two sides to it. One, we have clients that love the time, and that tells me something about their family. And then we have clients that absolutely hated it, right? For you, either way, both of it gives a sense of trauma. Um, for you, that first year, what was hard about it?
I just remember being, separated from my parents and just being like, fuck, I don't know any of these people. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
very social. Like, I'm pretty introverted. And so to be in an environment where you're forced to make friends and connect and, it's jarring,
And
right?
you were 13.
Yeah. Yeah. 12 or
Yeah.
13. And, my parents were on the West Coast. And so it was like 3 hours drive.
Yeah. Wow.
And so physically disconnected. Previous friends were either on the coast or elsewhere. And so it's like a real
Yeah, like
fresh
it's
start.
lonely.
Yeah, and so I had like
Yeah.
one friend that was a year ahead of me that was at the same school, and so there was at least one connection. But yeah, it
Mm,
just felt super isolating, and
man. Yeah, it's tough. I can't think of, oh, nah,
but it's
not.
interesting how it just gets, you know, what's the word, like blanketed over.
Yeah.
Didn't really acknowledge it.
Yeah.
It's only just talking with Emily about it. She's like, "Wonder you were like bit messed up, right?" Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Boarding school, that makes a bit of sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Was it, yeah, okay, no, I get it. So you did all your high school and boarding school.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I
Wow.
guess like the childhood was quite, like as I say, only child, but having good friends and good like
Mm,
parents and like good childhood. Yeah, I guess it was a big shock.
yeah, to the system.
And even though it was like a good school, it was still like
Mm,
just in the deep end.
yeah, yeah, okay. And so school was in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh man, okay. So fast forward, right? Um, how long you been in as a business coach now? Like, is that with 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah. So I've been running Alt, the new current iteration. It was the name of a marketing agency I ran for
Okay.
6 years.
Yep.
So I just didn't, it's maybe a bit lazy, right? I like the brand, like the name, didn't want to go through the naming process again. So I took it off the
Yeah.
hibernation shelf and
Yes.
relaunched it about 2.5 years ago.
Cool.
Yeah, so we do coaching, advisory, and events. Big thing is like uplifting business owners to think
Mm.
bigger and bolder and be around like-minded people.
And I mean, I love that, right? Uplifting business owners to think bolder and bigger. Not a big thing in Christchurch. And coming back to like tall poppy syndrome again of like just stick in your lane,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. There's a lot. You're right. Yeah.
Like the I don't want to be seen, that like that
And
kind of stuff.
And it's funny, like I had a client that like came on board and left soon after, and I was like, what's going? Like that's irregular, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but what it did force me to do was just think about like our market and just how like we're not for everyone. Like
No.
not many people want what we have. It's probably
Mm,
1% of the population, right?
mm,
Roughly 1 in 10 people are business owners.
yep,
So it's probably 10% of that 10%. And it's nothing against the other nine. It's just that, yeah, a lot of people just want to stay in their lane and
yep,
show up and yeah, it's all
yeah,
good, but
100%.
they're just not looking for that community.
On your journey, jumping into like from marketing agency to this route, what's been the thing that's triggered you the most?
Just in general in life.
Yeah, well, no, like in the business scene, in your own business.
Thing that's triggered me most in the business scene
Yeah,
specifically, and this is hilarious, right?
yeah, throw it at me.
I think, Rico, it's, when I'm a potential customer
Okay.
and somebody doesn't do a very good job on the sales
Oh
process,
yeah, no, that triggers the
which
heck.
but the reason it's hilarious is that it's because I'm probably guilty of it, right? It's
Yeah.
because I'm probably not doing a great job of the like sales part of the business. So therefore it triggers me. Whether
Mm,
it's, service or retail or hospitality, doesn't
yep,
matter.
yep.
It just triggers the hell out of me. I'm
Wow.
like, oh. I've got money. Like, I want to transact with you, but
Yeah, I want to buy something,
yeah,
and you're just not doing it justice.
it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What industry do you reckon happens more?
Retail,
Retail.
retail and hospitality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. It's funny, because it is like you go elsewhere. We went to Aussie and stuff. Aussie James and stuff. We went to the Gold Coast last year, and we all at a cafe, right? And this waitress is like just owning it. Stopping, talking to us, how long you been here? You know, baby, like, coming through, like, engaging again, remembering our names. And we were like, yo, this is different. And so I think Aussie was like, hey, like, just here for her, like, you're quite like, what? We're from Christchurch. We don't really get this kind of service. Like, and she's like, oh no, I'm just good at what I do. You know, and I was like, that one comment, it wasn't cocky.
No,
Like she never gave that off, but it was just like, no, like I like my craft, and I do it to the best of my ability.
love that.
You know, and I was like, heck yeah. And heck, we were like, if we tip, we can tip you like 100% because we want to.
Totally.
But I think, yeah, no one goes above what's on the I don't know, contract.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite restaurants here. They're so good. It's just an absolute outlier, and the manager, he is exceptional at selling.
Okay.
And by selling, I really mean he's just really good at service.
Yep.
And I think they're one and the same if
Mm.
you've mastered that dance, right? But I was there with a group recently, and I was just like, man, how are you so good? Like, where does this come from? He's like,
Yeah.
one word. He's like, Australia. Just like, didn't even think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was his knee jerk reaction.
Australia. That's
Australia.
different. Well, yeah, like they do. Like even in retail, someone like will come up to you and like, yo, like, what are you keen on? Like, let's have a chat. And when we were in a store, so I was in Melbourne with my brother, and we're in a store, and we're in this, and it's just like classic clothing store, right? But we we're in the store for like maybe an hour, because the guy was like, oh, like engaged in conversation. I went out, my brother was there, and my brother's name's Carlo. No, whenever he says it, no one ever gets it right. So he's just like, the guy's like, so what's your name? He's like, oh, yeah. But Carlo thinks it's just gonna be it, because in New Zealand it's just like a quick, cool transaction for 5 minutes, never see you again. So I go out, come in, and my brother's in the changing room, and this guy this guy that's working, oh, Alex, anything I can get you, my guy? Like, you know what? And I'm like, this is crack up. And I'm like, so my brother like, what's good? He's like, yeah, oh, I'm still here. And literally we're there for like ages. You know, I just roll with, oh, this is Alex. Yes, this is his name. But the service was like, and it made me want to buy something.
That's the funny thing
You
with this
know, I
restaurant.
didn't want to buy, but it made me want to.
It's crazy, that effect, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's game changer.
Yeah.
It's game changer. I get that. It definitely does trigger me. We were at a cafe one time here in Christchurch. Won't name the name of the cafe, but I got triggered.
You got triggered.
Oh man, I got triggered at the service. So they were under the pump. I get it, right? Under the pump, and so they were just putting coffees out for takeaways here, loud in there. So I'm with my wife and Romeo at the time, and so I ordered a drink, and so barista's like, cool, calls the name. I'm like, cool, that must be ours. We head there, we grab the drink. We grabbed the wrong people's drink, right? It was the same drink, but it wasn't ours. So then the person that was comes up, it's like, oh, what's going on? And then barista and second barista looks at me and is like, what'd you do? You know? And I'm like, what do you mean what I did? Like I came here, I looked at you, you gave me the nod. I was like, cool, grabbed it. She's like, no, I didn't say that was your drink. And I was like, oh nah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, and then it was these two versus me. And now I'm like, hold on. You're in hospo here.
Yeah.
Yeah, fix your system.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
totally.
like, but they just went at it. No, it's your fault. How could you? And I'm like, I'll never come here again.
No.
Because all of a sudden, it's like, first of all, yeah, anyway, I had a lot of things to say to my wife after that. But I was so triggered at the like, you're here to sell coffees, the pressure's on, and it just shows you that your system sucks.
System sucks. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah. We had a example over the weekend where a staff member of a business was I guess, struggling, but it wasn't like her fault per se. It was the
Yep.
system sucked, right?
Yep.
And the infrastructure, the support, the training wasn't there. You could see
Mm,
that was the
mm,
fault. It wasn't her trying to be
yeah.
unhelpful, right?
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. And then normally when the system's not working, it's the classic like, have you ever read the book E-Myth?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
classic of like when the technician system is not working, they they don't thrive.
No.
So then they just go,
Ah,
you know,
meltdown.
yeah. And so like, and I think that's what we experience is when it's not the owner's, it's not her business. I'm just on the tools and I can't do my job because the pressure's squeezing us at the moment.
Yeah.
And so then I react out of it. And you're like, oh man, it's just, yeah, part of it is character that needs to.
It's a funny one though, how a lot of people just wouldn't care about this stuff.
Mm,
It wouldn't be a talking point,
no,
but
but you don't, as a business owner, you see it, right?
I see it, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it's,
I see the money left on the table. Literally. I
mm,
see that, right? Just the
mm,
lack of upsell or the lack of anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Gotcha.
that's why I was asking about the couch. I was just curious because we've been trying to buy this couch and
Yep.
I was almost at the breaking point on Saturday. I was like, we're in a store and they come over and ask if they can help with anything. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you can. Like, I want to buy a couch.
Yes.
I'm getting so sick of dragging,
Yes.
being dragged around. Not
Yes.
that Emily drags me around,
No.
dragging ourselves around,
Yes,
right? I'm
100%.
like, just help me. Like,
Yeah.
just
Mate,
do what it
yeah.
takes. Like, literally, just take my money, please.
Mm.
Make it end.
Just take my money.
And yeah, and yet like the help that was offered, it just wasn't the help I was looking for. And I'm
Well,
just
they
like,
don't
why
ask
ask?
questions, do they?
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
No.
It's the classic, like, okay, cool, we have a product. I'll give it to you. This is the price. I've done my sale process.
But it's just funny, if I transpose that situation with my business, right? Like if I had someone come up to me and like, you know, we got talking and like
Mm.
they're like a potential customer and, I'm trying to transact, but
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it's just highlighting my own weaknesses. Maybe this is why it's triggering me so much. Because maybe I might have like messed up an opportunity once or twice.
Mm. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Do you think that with being triggered in general, and it's a great name of the podcast, by the way,
Thank you.
do you
I
think that
appreciate that.
generally when triggering occurs that it is some form of deficiency that's being
Mm.
recognized?
In yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it depends what it triggers, right? Like, because your environment will trigger you and it'll push a button. What comes out of you, that's on you, right? Now, there's a part of it that's like, cool. Sometimes it brings out great emotion, excitement, hope. Something in the environment still triggered that to come out. But when it brings out anxiety, overwhelm, avoidance, frustration, negative behavioral traits,
Mm.
that's still on you. And so for us, we're like, well, if something in the environment triggers you, it's now the opportunity for you to look at yourself and work on yourself. And I think it's definitely an area for me where I've discovered is I can't level up unless I deal with what just triggered me. Otherwise, it's going to continue to trigger me, and
Mm.
I won't move past it. And I think I used to play basketball, right? But when I play basketball, I think of it this way: if I'm shooting a free throw in high school level, there's a certain amount of pressure. It's your friends, it's your coach, family members are there watching. Same distance, shoot that, the pressure's on. Then I go to club level, the pressure's a bit different. Coach is a bit meaner, right? Different type of fans. Uh, the other team's probably talking more trash. Pressure's different. Same shot, but you can begin to choke now. College, NBA, pressure goes to same distance though.
Same shot.
Same
Yeah.
shot. And so what I look at is like, oh, I have to take a shot here and there. But if the pressure keeps coming at me and squeezes me to choke, that's on me. I can't keep avoiding pressure because then I'll just live a small life and I'll have more regrets.
Yeah. I wonder if reps can combat that. Meaning, if you've done X number of reps, it doesn't
Mhm.
really matter. The environment's less important.
Yeah. Because I mean, we're talking on a sport level, right? It's muscle memory. So muscle memory will come in, But I think when it comes down to being on the court, most of it, it's there's something to get under your skin. Did it make you try and prove yourself? You know, I had a guy, his name's Anton, off on the pod, right? He, his big belief here was if someone, I need to prove, he played league, I need to prove to everyone that I can make it on my own. And so anyone that people talked about that was good became a trigger for him and he would go at it
Right.
until he wakes up in hospital concussed and his career ends, right? Blood out of his ears, full on. But it came down to environment pushed a button for him, and that button put him in a route to perform not at his best, but what he thought was his best. And then it ends in a pretty horrific way. And so I think when it comes down, you're like, oh well, if I'm getting triggered, I can be good, but if it's changing my emotional response, how I outwork my skills is going to be different because I'm trying to escape this emotion,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
But do you think you can combat that with reps? So whether it's through like overcoming fear of
Like cold
rejection
calling, kind of like a,
through like shock therapy almost,
mm,
or with the basketball example, right? Like however many shots you got to do, you know.
mm. I think you can overcome that moment. So like, but that's just a moment, you know. Then you hop into a different moment, and I think it becomes so tiring to be like, I've just got to keep doing reps in all these areas of life.
Mm.
Where what if I could just be confident to be myself in all these areas without? I think with the on mental skills is predominantly looking at your the reps you have done got you here, so trust in your reps, right? So when it comes to athletes coming to a game and the mental skills coach will kind of like help them compartmentalize. I remember talking to Robbie Fruin, right? Old Crusader guy, epic guy, awesome guy, but he had this. He would often throw up before games, and he said what really helped him shift that was looking at my training and say, no, 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 my training got me here. That's why I can perform today. And it's a good mental shift. The only thing is, life's not a performance. And so I can't take that into my relationship. Like, yeah, my reps got me here. Oh, no, it didn't. You know, like, you know, or I can't, I'm like, I'm confident in this area, but then I'll hop into an area that I'm not confident in, you know, and this is the classic thing when you take an athlete off the rugby field and put them in a kitchen and who they are changes completely. Go from like this loud, like, oh, I'm the man to,
Don't know what I'm doing.
yeah, just because it's like my confidence is in that. But you've taken me out of that and put me in this environment. I'm not confident anymore. And so reps can work so good in one area. But when it comes to high performance in life, not so much. Kayla Colbin says it really well. She does the Crusaders leadership program. Epic person. She says high performance is not you winning in one area and losing in another. It's not you winning on the field and losing at home. That's just a win and a loss.
Mm.
High performance is winning everywhere. That
Mm.
is of priority to you.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know, and I'm like, oh, it makes a lot of sense. But I think today we can trust in our reps, but that's just one area.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, confidence is a great word. You know, I think with confidence, a
Mm,
lot of things get ironed out,
yep.
don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because confidence goes up and down based on your abilities. And I think today what we often do is we attach our worth to our confidence. And so then our worth goes up. And when it comes to the mental side of things, the mental health side of things, our worth goes up and down based on what we're good at. So so one of the reasons why people hate change, we love change,
Mm.
but a lot of people don't like change, right? Because change takes you from what you're good at to, oh crap, I can be exposed now
Totally. Yeah.
because my worth is attached to what I'm good at. And
Yeah,
then
it's
it
fun.
becomes,
It's funny, you know, I do say I like change, but then when it comes to reality, you know, like I think we all can relate to hating change as well, though, right?
mm,
And that's why I think life gets so confusing is there's so many opposing thoughts
yep.
or concepts, right? Like say, for
Mm,
example, the new app refreshes and it's harder to use.
Yeah.
That's an example of hating change, right?
Yeah, nah, I'm the opposite. I'm like, "Ooh, fun." Like,
This is cool,
new
yeah.
area. But you're right, I never used to be like that, right? I used to be like, I do what I'm good at because that's where I'm confident.
Mm,
And when I'm confident, this must be who I am. Well, not quite. And I think the someone told me one time, I was like, "What's the best advice that you would give yourself if you look back?" And he goes, "The thought that you should do what you're good at and don't do what you're not good at."
yeah,
And I
it's
was like,
interesting.
interesting because you can get good at what you're not. And unfortunately, the market's not always ready for what you are good at.
That's true.
So why do you have to be confined to, I was like, that's a good way to put it.
Mm,
But you have to step out of your confidence.
it's good. That's a good call. It's what I like about that idea of the misogi. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's the idea of doing one thing every year that's quite difficult or quite hard. It could
Yep.
be something new. It could be something just challenging, right?
Yes.
But it's the idea that every year you're going to have this like misogi thing, and
Mm.
you know, you'll have something to look back on and be like, yeah, 2025, this was the thing.
Yeah.
This got done, or it didn't get done, but I really gave it a good go,
Yeah.
right? So it's an opportunity, I guess, to do something that's not necessarily maybe
Mm.
within your skill set, but
Out of your comfort zone.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Have you been doing that?
No,
No.
no, I like the idea.
Yeah.
Um, it's like a lot of things. You can like an idea, and then before you know it, it's like, February or March. And, maybe
That's it.
next.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Or, the other thing is, like, I quite like this one or that one. And you don't actually lock in on one. And then before you
Mm.
know it, the year's gone and it's,
Yeah.
time to reassess. But
Well,
conceptually, I like it.
yeah. Well, one thing I do like about you, Dave, is that you are more of an action taker,
Trying to be.
right? Well, you are. Think, I mean, heck, my conversations with you, I remember, end of last year. I look at this year, I'm like, wow, this has really worked out this year for us. But last year, you're like, so what's new, Rico? And you just at the gym having a chat. And I'm like, oh, like, I'm thinking of doing this. And you're like, cool, what's stopping you? Oh, what is stopping me? Nah, nothing. Cool, send that email, Rico. Go do it, right? I was like, yes, yes, I will. I will go do that. And I did. I sent the email to a specific company that you know about.
Yes.
And this year, man, it's paid off.
You're welcome.
But but there's not many people that uh, get behind action.
Man. And maybe again, it's just because I get triggered by not taking action
Yeah.
and I'm guilty of it. So,
Well, that's the healthy part right now, because I think you look at it, you're like, well, I know the price I had to pay for not taking action. I remember that time in life. It's not fun.
but isn't it cool though, how like one conversation can lead to that? And, luckily I've sort of found my ikigai, right? I've found the thing that
Mm,
overlaps with what I'm good at, what the market will pay for,
yep.
what I enjoy doing. And so that's cool.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah,
a good
well,
one.
just want to let you know. It did
Thank
pay
you.
off.
No, that's really
It
cool.
did pay off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
love that.
we are now, I would say, the main go-to for leadership development that focuses on and that.
Amazing.
And so they're just sending.
But yeah, isn't it hilarious how that, might not have been, right?
If I didn't reach out,
Yeah, you might not have said
yeah.
it, right?
So it
You
just
might have gotten
needed
in
to
your
know.
head. You might have been like, oh, like blah, blah, blah. They
Yeah,
won't
will
want
they
it.
want it? I don't know, bro.
Nah. So,
Classic.
like with a lot of things, it's not about doing more. It's about just doing those right things, those things that will give you a shot at
Mm,
winning or progressing.
mm. There you go. Well, no, I love it. But we have gone for a while. So I want to say thanks for jumping on today. I've
Thank
learned
you.
a lot about you that I simply did not know. But it's so awesome.
Benefits of a podcast, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I've got to know you a lot more. I think there's a lot of people, especially business owners, that will benefit from this conversation. Uh, and yeah, man, it's been epic.
Man,
So thank you for jumping on.
thank you for having me.
Yeah,
It's been good.
subscribe. We'll see you at the next one.
Subscribe.
Let's go. Thanks, bro.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no.